Hello everyone, this is Wolf. We're back for some more Minecraft. Standing here down in my trading hall, just taking a look at, what all I've got done so far. Really like how this came out. Yeah, it does look a little... I could add some more details to it, and once the roof is in, there will be something holding it up, like it's hanging there. But today, I wanted to actually focus on another aspect of what's going to be here at the castle. And that is going to be the mob farm I'm going to make in this tower. I already did spend a bit of time digging it out a bit, and I think it's deep enough right now for us to start working on the next steps to this. Access is going to be probably somewhere on this side, but for the most part it's going to be a simple automatic mob farm that's going to be running continuously, and mobs are going to be getting killed by... wrong chest. I've also prepped some materials. Soul campfires with hoppers underneath to collect them. And it's going to be a pretty simple observer and dispenser design. I'm not going to worry too much about one specific mob or another being brought out by it and constantly being spawned by it, so it's just going to go through whatever happens to come down. I am, however, going to make it so that way it's a little more difficult for spiders to be able to survive in this. So I'll show you how to do that in a bit. I did want to go over two things, though. Off camera, I've done a little bit of exploring, and I happened to find a zombie villager. Brought him back here, got him all nice and safe, so I can cure him, and he'll become one of my first villagers. I know I can move some villagers around, but I figured, why not start with what I got? Or he may just end up being the source of the infection. Also, yeah, I know my trading areas, or not trading, my enchanting area and my initial startup area is not the greatest. But I did want to bring to your guys' attention something that has happened on stream a couple times. While I've been in this area chopping trees, I kept hearing spiders. And it was driving me nuts because I couldn't figure out where they were. Well, the other day I was going around off camera and just exploring in general, and I happened to find this. Was not planned, was not expected. It's a spider spawner, directly below my base. In fact, if you go right here... no, it's not here. It's over here. This actually pops you out of the ground. I just fell. Oh. Of course I just fell. This actually pops you out of the ground over in my trees. So this whole time, see? This whole time, there's been a spider spawner underneath my base. I did not realize this, and I feel kind of stupid for it. So, suffice to say, I've pretty much picked what's going to be my eventual AFK spot with an automatic spider killing setup here. So that way I have a continuous supply of string. Or maybe I'll just set up my AFK spot over at the mob farm. I don't know. But I put this pillar here and lit it up so that way I wouldn't remember where it is, and so I know where in the bounding chunks of all my base that's going to be. So, string is no longer an issue. Which, to be perfectly honest, that is quite nice to know. It's just string, but having a large supply of it is helpful. So, I also did spend quite a bit of time in the Nether, and I got a bunch of quartz, got some levels, enchanted up a few things, including making a pretty dang good pickaxe. Doesn't have mending on it, but efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3 with fortune 3, I'll take. I also got a looting 3 sword. It's knockback, it's not the greatest, but it'll work. So with that said though, let's go ahead and get started on this mob farm. As you can see, I did light up the area around here, but I left a few spaces that I need to go address. This area is lit up well enough that things shouldn't spawn, but I'm just going to be that much careful, or that much more careful. So over here is kind of a dark spot that I just kind of seem to have forgotten about. That's my own fault. Got the rest of it mostly lit up, so let's go ahead and do this real fast. This will also improve the rates the farm will produce. So when you're creating a general mob farm like this, you do want to make sure that the area and the caves underneath are pretty well lit up. I don't have to worry too much about that cave, since it's basically basically going to be lit up fully when I'm done, and that'll slowly improve the rates from the mob farm. But for the moment, I wanted to make sure that I had this area at least mostly lit up so I don't have to worry about getting attacked while I'm building it either. So I'll sleep if phantoms become a problem, but I don't anticipate them really being too much of a hassle. So, to start with, I dug down 2 blocks in order to create our base here. Now, this is just going to be a simple, they flush to the center, drop down a little bit, stand on some campfires, and get burned. Nothing complicated about it. I'm going to go ahead and make another shovel, because I have a... Oh, I put all my iron in here. Because I have a feeling that this one's going to break pretty soon. I don't know why. Also, I'm going to grab some scaffolding, just because it'll make getting in and out that much easier. So, let's pop that in here, and then I'll also eventually secure this, and there'll be water flowing into the whole center here. So, I'm going to go and knock out everything here to create a 3x3 hole. I think I'll leave the 1 dirt block there at the top, floating, just for now. Mostly to keep the torch there. So, with that, I now have my 3x3 hole. Let's dig our way down a little bit so that we can have the drop. You don't need to go down very far, but you also need to make sure you have your collection system included. And I think that's going to be the one area where I'm going to probably have some issues, and that I am using soul campfires. They will produce light. This does need to be down far enough to account for that. And I think 5 blocks should be enough. So, and I can always pillar up using the blocks and whatnot. So, with that said, I left a random dirt block up there. So, now I've got 5 blocks to work with here. This is the direction which I'll be eventually accessing it, so that's the direction which I need to make sure that I put in my collection system properly. Grab our 9 soul campfires, grab our chests, and our 9 hoppers. Each, I don't think I'll just do that. So, each, this is going to be kind of like a bank. There's going to be hoppers flowing to one area, and they're going to flow into a chest in the center. And I did bring some extra wood and some extra iron so I can make some more hoppers, which, for now, I'm just going to go with kind of a basic collection system. Nothing super fancy. I need to, there we go. Nothing fancy. So, let's go ahead and break that. Grab as much of this as I can. And we're good. So, this is the direction, which I should probably do something to mark. So, I will do something like that. That's the direction in which I need to go in order to make sure I cover this properly. We're going to start by placing down our soul campfires. You might think, hang on a second, that's a slightly dangerous move. Not so much. So I can go down as far as I need to underneath this, but that does give me a way of orienting myself with the hoppers. And I can backfill with cobblestone if I really needed to. Okay. So now we're going to have the hoppers all facing and flowing in this direction, and going into chests that are in this spot. So we're going to place our first chest there, and all the rest are going to flow into that chest. Even though this is going to be off to the side, it's going to need to be underneath here. I'm also going to dig this space out just a little bit more so that way things can flow out more effectively. So, let's place our chests. Doesn't really matter which way they face, because this one's pretty much... not. I always do that. I always shift when I'm trying to place chests. It's a bad habit. This is just going to be a collection and a buffer part of it, so it's not really going to be an absolutely essential part of the system. Also, I'm going to go ahead, place the last couple campfires. I'm now trapped underneath here. Ah! It's hot! Oh, and that one's placed the wrong orientation. It's going to bug me. It's going to bug me. No, I'm hardly ever going to see any of this. So I'm just going to come along here, place these hoppers oriented into there, and then along the side here. Since we have a space under here, might as well take a moment and backfill it with some cobblestone. Now, not really necessary to do the one there because that's where there's going to be a hopper going off to the side. And that'll feed into the whole rest of the collection system here. So to do that, I'm going to then go this way, dig this way, 20 or so blocks, maybe closer to 15, and then I'll scaffold my way up. So, but I do need to make sure that the light level at the top is not too overpoweringly strong. I do have a Silk Touch pickaxe if I do need to break them. I was hoping to kind of keep that one in reserve, but yeah. Okay. We're now about 15 blocks over, so I think it's time we pillared our way up. So we're well outside the bounds of the circle above, so we're good. Go with that. Oops, this is dirt. Hey, look at that. There's light up above. That was close, but that works out nice. It's a good amount of light up here, but what if I... Oh yeah, no, that's not too much light. So if I switch to my F3 screen, you'll see that the block level, as you approach this, gets higher. But you come up to where the first level is, and there's going to be solid blocks around this, it is obscured. So this will go quite nicely. And the reason I used the soul campfires, that can be dropped down and get sucked into the hoppers, is the soul campfires do more damage to enemies while they're standing in them. That's an important tidbit to know. So we want to make sure that everything is 2 blocks tall, so that's also why I left that dirt block there. Because eventually that dirt block is going to have everything else built on top of that. So our next step here is to start working on the scaffolding portion of this. I'm not going to be too worried about the inside of this since it's going to be mostly hidden, but the outside will get stone brick, and I will do my usual decorative color palette. This is just supplies. I'm going to be perfectly honest, it is just some basic supplies. But for building the base, I'm also going to be using some of the stone bricks. They're for building out the base. Words are hard. But for building the farm, I'm also going to be using some stone bricks. You can get away with using slabs, but if you're going to end up waterlogging them, that can be tricky. Also, that dirt block is going to be an essential safety feature. So, I'll show you why. We're going to jump up here and place. Going to bring this out until we have roughly that much space in here, and then a sign is going to go on the edge here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go 5 in each direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just simply create your layer like this. That's a single wedge of the farm. Now, it's not a huge amount of spawnable space, but it will prevent things... Actually, I'm going to add one more to it. This will increase the efficacy of the farm and actually will make it feel a little bit more... There we go. It will still have the same desired result in that there's always 2 blocks of space. That'll prevent the spiders from being able to fall down onto it. Now for this one, we can just simply hop over and replicate the pattern. The bottommost layer should be solid blocks, because that will ensure that the lights of the campfire, because there will be light coming off of it, doesn't end up causing you problems. And also, to ensure the campfire isn't affected by the water, there will be signs along the edges of it too. Ah, crud. That was fun. Randomly placing blocks. Always a fun time. There we go. Now, this is going to use a fair amount of my stone brick, but I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue right now. Then this will finally all get sealed off, and things will be able to spawn on the inside, where they will automatically be killed by the fire down there. There we go. Now I could quite easily just place a water block on this. It'll spread out and push everything off of it. But I do want to do the dispenser and pardon me, I do want to do the design where you use a dispenser and observer and everything to deploy this. So I'm going to make 10 layers of this. It means this whole thing is going to be eventually 30 blocks tall. I don't know if I have enough of this to do both the inside and the outside, but we're going to try. Let's grab a little bit of that. Oops, actually, I needed to have this on here because I need to make the signs. The next step in this process is the signs along the edge. While not absolutely critical, they do play an important role. Yes, you can do other things like trapdoors and fence gates, but I prefer to do signs. Mostly because they're absurdly cheap. This will prevent the water from being able to spread beyond a certain point. Placing the signs is obnoxious. It allows you to do this, giving you that double layer in there. That will prevent the spiders from being able to escape. So I'll just go along here. And I think I'll just do them facing one way on one level and then rotate it 90 degrees on the next level. So, see? One stack. Yeah, it is a lot, but honestly, for what you get out of it, it's worth it. Okay. Ah! But see, now there's going to be water pushing you along the edge and you'll fall. And then there will be water along here pushing towards the center, which will also get the same sign treatment. Except those get Ds, apparently. See, now we've got a perfectly safe pit of death that will never flood. So let's go along the edge here and place all the remaining signs. And I can extend this out as I need to. For the most part, I think this will be effective enough. Another screaming sign. I'm going to keep doing that on accident, trust me. It's inevitable. Oh, okay, let's go along here. And of course you can place it doing this too. And I just realized how flickery this looks on the stream. I'm afraid it's a little unavoidable right now. Now, it's not absolutely essential, though it will make a difference, to have these signs here out a certain number of blocks. Mostly because it'll just prevent little bits and pieces of water from flowing around and the mobs from being able to try and circumvent what's being placed. As a bit of a trial, let's go ahead and place a single block of water in the center. And see, it pushes exactly to the edges. No further. In fact, I could probably get rid of a few of these signs and I'll be perfectly fine. So I'm going to save myself the resources and do that. But now you have this overlap of the water here that the mobs will be pushed off with. And with that, they will fall down and they will be burned. Just go along here. Well, I do have tons of wood and I could go chop more quite easily. I just want to make sure that I have this down to the pat. And see? We've now got one level all waterlogged. It will push everything off and they will all fall down to the bottom, even spiders, because there's not enough space around them to catch onto anything. Okay? Now they could try to catch onto the outer walls here. I'm afraid that's kind of unavoidable, but I don't think the spiders will end up being too much of an issue, especially if I put cactuses near the top in a later refit. So, with that done, let's go ahead and continue, because that saved me a lot of times. Let's continue with the next couple levels. And that really is all there is to it. It is really just that simple. So we go up 3 blocks, and we start building our base. 5, 6. I go out. Yep, I did. Okay. So I was making sure I did the count right. Because this is an irregular shape versus the tower shape. So it's just something I want to make sure that I'm getting right. Let's go over here. And yeah, we'll just keep building these levels. There will be 10 of these going up. So this is going to be a relatively tall tower. But since it's going to be a mob farm, that's okay. For an early game mob farm, it'll do quite well. To control it at the very top of the tower, I'm going to do a hopper clock. But it doesn't need a whole bunch of redstone. So you can do a very efficient redstone-based mob farm. And if you're able to pull off that redstone, hey, more power to you. I give you props. I truly do. So I'm not saying that I couldn't do it. I'm just saying that it's not my forte. Yeah, I will do farms with redstone and stuff in time, but that is, especially right now that I'm moving, a couple of weeks down the road. Alright, let's grab this, and there we go. Here to the center where we've got this one, 2, 3, and we'll do it again, and again, and again. No, I jest, but it is actually quite an enjoyable process for me to do these kinds of projects. So, over here. Yeah. And the reason you don't use the half slabs is that if you use the bottom slab, nothing will spawn on it, obviously. And if you use the top slab, the dispenser will actually waterlog the lower level and create weirdness. So, I mean, if the center block is a full block, which it'll be an observer, it won't have that issue. But, I'm just committing to using the full blocks right now. So I don't want the extra gap in there. So that'll just increase the number of spiders that spawn. The higher the ceiling, the more spiders you're going to get. I'm really hoping to get mostly skeletons from this. Skeletons and zombies. See, I just did it again. But it's already getting kind of dark underneath these levels. Oh, before I forget, I should put the signs on this level. Oh. So I only need to put one. Fortunately, everything all lines up quite nicely, so I think I'm just going to leave with the same pattern, keep it consistent from one floor to the next. Apparently that one got a D. So as it gets darker, I'll be able to tell where the light levels are at the lower portion. In the meantime, well, that works too. So, can't jump 3 blocks tall. Oops. That's the beauty about using signs like this, is even if you accidentally place them, they're easy to break. Alright, let's go over here. That level's not too high. Mostly 0 block level, so I'm actually going to throw a couple of torches down here to light this area up. So I don't have to worry about mobs spawning in this area. And despite the fact that light level down there is light, this area is also fairly dark. I've got the scaffolding on me. Let's go up as high as we can with the scaffolding. I may need to go grab more. I have a bit more string, not a lot, but I do have some, so... Go. Before I forget, let's make a couple more torches, because I did go around and place a bunch. Yeah. Let's just continue by falling down. I think it would probably be best if I did this from above, but it'd be slightly tricky with the position that I'm in right now, so I will simply just have to deal. Let's go over here. There we go. Now we can go back up this. And hey, look, we're at the top. So that's 3 levels done. 1, 2, 3. There's going to be a total of 10, so I need to do this 7 more times. But that's okay. That one's Wing. Since this is going to be buried inside the castle, I'm not too concerned about how it looks. I could have honestly done... I do have enough dirt for it, but I do think I have another plan for the dirt. That's a ways down the line, though, when I finally get to the end down the line. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's going to probably be another couple of weeks before I can consider going to the end. Mostly with the... Ooh! That area is not well lit up enough. Mostly due to the upcoming move I have, so... Okay, well, hopefully they're damaged. This should be quick and easy. Let's go over and light that area up so I don't have to worry about them coming towards me. And see, we already have a creeper. Dropped iron. See, now there's a light level of 0 over here. That works. He landed on a dripstone. What are the odds of that? So, small little diversion, but as you can see, the farm is coming along nicely. It's just better safe than sorry right now. Now, when I build up the walls, all that'll get enclosed, and that's what I'm going to use as the way to activate it. Me building up the walls, then triggering the whole thing at the top. Toss that in there. Let's grab even more stone bricks, because I know I'm going to need them. And then let's make a bunch more signs. That, and where did the sign go? Even more signs. So, I think I'll swap out this pickaxe because I don't need it in that slot right now. And there we go. Alright, we'll put our torch here, and then we'll pillar up 1, 2, because we already had the one there. Now let's go ahead and recreate this again for level 4. And this is the easy part. Getting the layers going up, measuring out how far the water is going to flow, all that stuff. This is the easy part. The tricky part is going to be the redstone. But it's still not all that difficult. The redstone parts in this, I already have all the observers and the dispensers made up. I made a bunch of the dispensers for it. I made a bunch of boats for the dispensers, sorry. It's not that hard. So that's one of the reasons I went with this design, is it's actually a fairly straightforward design. So. Of course, with many things with redstone, it does have my own little spin on it, but oh well. I'm not going to go overboard with creating an exactly perfect high output farm. I don't need that. Like maybe if this were a hardcore world and I was trying to get as much done in as short amount of time as possible, maybe there would be some reason to do that, but there isn't right now. And just, yeah. It's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary work to do on stream. So. Some more signs. And it's another W's. Oops, that's the wrong way. Oh well. And again, that's one of the things, is that if there's a small little thing like that, I'm not going to stress it. Like that one's a bunch of S's. It's not needed. It's not needed to worry at all about it. One of the things about my coworkers, or one of my coworkers actually, that bugs me is he is such a perfectionist over the smallest and most unnecessary details. You should see him play with a Word document. So I'll use the water to wash out the torches. So right now the torches are just lighting it up so I don't have mobs waiting for me when I get to the bottom at some point. Might be able to do one more level beyond this point. Before I have to go get more scaffolding, that is. Over here. Yeah, I know I talk about my coworkers a lot on the channel, usually because I'm streaming after work. Like, yeah, for those that don't know, I do estimating for my company. I send out estimates. And we're about to switch to a commission-based structure, so I'm going to start earning commission off what I estimate. And I have a coworker who just simply does not understand how that's going to work. So, and you'd think, okay, it's commission. That's fairly straightforward. Yeah, he thinks it's based off of just raw gross dollar amount. There's an accuracy aspect to it. Yeah, of course, I can sell you this item that's, it costs $20,000, and I sold you 5 of them, so it's $100,000, and I get commission off that. But if I sold you the wrong item, no. So, it doesn't work that way. But to hear him tell it, that's exactly how it's going to be, because that's exactly how he envisions it in his head. So. It's like we're going to have to actually close the deals. We're going to have to make sure that it's what the customer needs. We're not just going to be able to dictate things to them. And he is exactly the type of person that will, you don't like it? Fine, I'm going to raise my voice. No, I'm not joking about that. Oh. He's exactly the type of person you'd expect to kick somebody out of their store because they're not doing what he wants them to do in his way. And he'd be proud about kicking somebody away because they can take their business elsewhere. Okay, so this is the 5th level that I'm on right now. I'm going to have to go get more logs to make more signs. Not a big deal. I chopped down a couple of jungle trees, so I have a good supply of jungle logs, which is what these are. And I think I will keep it consistent, so just for consistency's sake. So it'll be the stone brick, and then it'll be lots and lots of jungle signs. Okay. And level 6. And that's the beauty of a design like this, is you can make this essentially as big as you want. You really can. Oh, you should be careful a bit how you design it, but ultimately it doesn't need to be that huge. So I say this as a guy who's literally building a mob farm that's going to be 30 blocks tall. I mean, it will fit with the scale of the castle, though. I do want to emphasize that. It will fit with the scale of the castle. So it will make sense with the castle. And the tower that's going to go right there is going to be even taller, but that's because I'm going to put an iron farm at the top. So there might be one other section that's taller than that tower, but not by much. Mostly because the iron farm's at the top. I need to make sure that it's... Yeah. So that one's going to have a similar design. It's going to have a drop shaft, though it's going to be a bit smaller. And the iron golems are going to drop down towards the middle and die there. So I don't have to go all the way up to the top to the collection system. That'll be a project for another day, after I got the villager breeder going and after I have a few villagers to spare. Oh, who am I kidding? That is literally going to be the first thing I build after I get the villager breeder going. Having an unlimited supply of iron? Yes, please. Oops. Well, I just tried to be clever, and it bit me in the ass. Okay. Here. Sorry, I had a cough. So. Okay. I think ultimately, though, this is all going to... I don't want to present myself as an expert. That's one of the things I want to avoid doing at all costs. Yeah, I can do some things in Minecraft, but I'm far from a professional Minecrafter. Very far from it. So, I mean, I do like design stuff. I do like, showing off how you can do certain detailing work. It's exactly what I did over there. But, like I said, I'm still relatively new to the game. I've been playing it under 2 years. Keep that in mind. Under 2 years. There are games I've played for far longer than this and developed completely different skill sets. So, a good example of that is Space Engineers. I've done a lot in Space Engineers to the point where I actually get a little bored in the game. Not that that's a bad thing, because the game is virtually limitless. It really depends more on what you're interacting with. So, I don't know. I might do a Endless Wave series. It's a game mode in Space Engineers where you just have to defend yourself from endless waves of enemies. It's very, very much needed to have a friend. I might be able to do a whole nother level on... So this was 6. Yeah. This was 6. If I could count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So the next one will be 7, and then 8, 9, 8, 9, and 10 on top of that. So there will be 3 more levels on top of that. So yeah, that would probably be something that would be more of a dual stream or something. I may have to rope Cyro into that one. So, which, given that he got me into Space Engineers in the first place, would be slightly poetic. Oh, and he got me into Minecraft too. So there's a lot of facets to that particular interaction. I am not going to lie. So, and while Cyro does intend to do streaming at some point, he's still just in the... He's not sure where he's going to go right now. I'm just playing around. That's all that I'm doing. I'm just playing around right now. So sometimes I stream Space Engineers, sometimes I stream, or most of the time I stream Minecraft. occasionally I'll stream 7 Days to Die. I don't know. It's whatever happens to happen. So. Yeah. So with a mob farm like this, it will produce me rotten flesh, bones, sometimes produce a fair number of arrows, and it will produce a few bows. Probably not the great ones, but that's fine. It will produce the occasional other random zombie drops, like carrots, potatoes, maybe some iron. And also, rather notably about that, it will also produce string and spider eyes. Which, those are the ones that having a passive source of would be kind of useful, especially if I'm going to be converting lots of villagers. Passive source of spider eyes. There are plenty of brown mushrooms around here, so I don't need to worry about those. Yeah. And I mean, there's a couple dark oak forests around, for crying out loud. I'm not going to run out of brown mushroom anytime soon. I just did that one wrong again. Oh well. And that... Yeah, if you make a small mistake like what I just did, don't worry about it. Unless, of course, you're making something where a small mistake like that will have devastating consequences, like some of those collapsing pyramids of gravity-affected blocks. Yeah, putting the sign in the wrong place can rather dramatically impact that, but that's a very unique circumstance, and is not an everyday occurrence. 1, 2, okay. I'm now up to level 8. That's important to note because I'm pretty dang high up here, and yet I'm going to go a little higher up, and that hilltop is still taller than I am right now. And the castle is going to sit on top of that, so that gives you an idea of the scale of what I'm going, or the main portion of the castle is going to sit on top of that. That should give you an idea of the scale that I'm working at. Is it huge? A little bit. Is it dauntingly huge? Not in the slightest. This is all very doable. So let's go over here. Let's continue along here. Eventually, as the castle starts to take shape, more details will be added in, such as those, and it will gain a certain amount of busyness. The big thing to note about the outer walls is that they aren't just going to be brick. There is going to be other details applied to them, especially when I start working on the roof. That's going to be the trickiest one. The roof is going to need lots of wool. The roof is going to need lots of deep slate. I'm probably going to have to incorporate some other darker blocks in there too, like black concrete powder, maybe even something like polished, not nether quartz, like some polished basalt. There we go. I don't know why it gives like obsidian. It's obsidian. No, it's... This is what happens when I stare in front of a computer screen for 9 hours at work every day. So, but hey, commission structure, that should hopefully be changing. So, give me a couple of, there we go. Place a few signs. No, I don't have that many, but let's place a few to get that ball rolling. And then I'll go up to the next level, but I'll leave a section of it kind of available. Okay. So let's do this. 1, 2. So that way I can still easily get up here with the scaffolding. I just want to finish out my inventory with the resources I have on me right now. The outer walls of this thing are going to be a project. I don't necessarily know if I will get to them today. I very well might. I might not. I don't know yet. And to be honest, that's the honest answer. Okay, that goes there. throw a torch. I have a feeling I'm going to get phantoms this evening. So this is level 9. So there's one level beyond this, and then we have the roof. Okay? So, and the roof will be, of course, 2 blocks up. Yeah. Let's go over here. So, and this is where the first kind of change is going to be, because I'm going to leave this not... actually, I can get away with that. Okay. It's tall enough. Oh, let's go over to this side. Yeah, I think after this level, I'm just going to call it done. Not for the 9, no. I'm going to call this level done, and I'm going to head down and that stuff. You think I can make it to that water source? That's the infinite water source I set up for when I get the water flowing in the bottom. Well, why not? Let's push it. Since I'm up here, since I got the stone bricks, yeah, let's push it. And I can still go around with the signs and get those cleared out. I don't think I'll do like a floating glass platform in the sky with some scaffolding going to it or anything like that for an AFK platform. I think my AFK spot's probably going to be in another structure, another place in the castle, maybe a room or someplace I can easily secure. That way I don't need to worry too much about things despawning, but they'll still also be able to effectively run. And since the iron farm should be close enough to the spawn chunks, close enough to be considered in the spawn chunks, it's going to produce a lot of iron. I'm looking forward to. And see, we look at that. We have almost the 10th level finished. If I grabbed another stack of stone brick, I would have easily finished this. And there we go. Okay, so pro tip, if you're going to be heading towards scaffolding, press shift as you're falling towards it. I'm not going to be able to make the jump to that water. That was a pie in the sky thing. This allows you to clutch on the scaffolding and you literally just land on it. So, oops. I know, this is all holes and everything. I just... It's been a long day. It's been a long day. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 at the very top. 10 levels for that. That's not bad. That is not bad at all for this. Got 7 scaffolding here. I'm going to have to go raid my other supplies for scaffolding because I don't want to break this. This is kind of my easy way in and out from here. So I think to connect this with the rest, I'm just going to do a series of interesting staircases. So, and whenever you can work on and make a staircase work, that's a good day. I've got string here. So let's jump across to here. Grab some bamboo. I think I have more string over here too. Oops. Nope. Okay. It's just... Oh, that's plenty of scaffolding. Okay. Yeah, that's... Crisis averted. Okay. Actually, I did want to come back over here. Check on food. Because I had a bunch of food going, so let's go ahead and keep this all nice and organized. Yes, I know there's a better way I could have done that. I'm not too worried about it right now. So I also need to go grab some jungle wood. So, since I decided I wasn't going to just rely exclusively on diamond tools, I've been playing around with iron tools and breaking a bunch of iron tools. So that's led to me making things like this axe. Fortunately, it's also brought me a lot of things here in the form of, there we go, in the form of logs. I've collected plenty of logs. Oh, the acacia. That is going to be a very important block in the roofs. Trust me. Without that, the roof won't make any sense. It'll seem like it'll look good, but it won't blend like I want it to. And that's actually kind of one of the things I'm going to focus on when it comes to the colors. The blending of the colors and keeping everything aligned. See, it's not that tall compared to the rest of it. But the outside observer, this is a big project. Okay, that should be tall enough. Oh yeah, plenty tall enough. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Let's put that in here. Keep that here. And I was going to grab some more bricks. Then going to make a bunch of signs. Grab a bunch of those. Finish out us signs. That is plenty of signs. I think I should be quite good with that. He just spawned in. That means this area must be dark enough for him to spawn in. Okay. Duly noted. Yeah, I know. This whole area is going to need to have some spawn-proofing attention made to it. That's... keeps getting made abundantly clear. Okay. Heard an Enderman. Don't see purple particles, so... can't tell where he is. Toss that in there, and let's go up to the first level where I ran out of signs. Let's finish that off before we go up into the 10th level. So, here we go. See? Since it's only 2 blocks tall, though, we're not going to get Enderman spawning in here. I'm not worried. I think we'll get plenty of zombies, plenty of skeletons, plenty of spiders. Don't have to worry about it too much. Really? I know the sun will come up in a moment, but oh, there's 3 of them. Okay. Why is just one of them burning? Yeah, there's some phantom membranes down there. I will have plenty of slow-falling potions when I go to the end. Oops, I've made it to this one. I have time to go up. One more level. Yeah. So with this overlap from the signs, I doubt rather strongly that there will be any major issues with the spiders. But if in the event there is, there's some things that you can do to make it more difficult for them to be able to latch onto the walls in some places. You do things like stair blocks if you have a flat space. You can do trapdoors in other places. There's a lot of options. You just have to think a little outside the box. Oh. Did I just look at that Enderman? I don't know. Okay. With that, let's find our center block, which is there. Place our torch in the same place on each level, so that way we make sure that we control the light level every time. He is just zipping around. Oh, he is right there. It's like he's trying to make me look at him. See, he keeps zipping around in the roof. He's not shaking. He's not doing anything like he's angry. Dude, he was just right there. Oh. I swear, Endermen sometimes troll you. They straight up troll you. And with that, we now have our last spawning platform. Okay. Now, for the individual spawnable areas, we're going to have to... wow. For the system to have everything spawn in, we're going to need to do a bit of work with the observers. But for the moment, I'm just going to extend this out as the much needed layer to the edges of the wall. Okay? Dude, he's right there. He's trolling me. He's trolling me. Anyway, well, let's continue along this way. So we're going to go to the edge here, and then we're going to go 2 blocks further out than we normally would have. This will bring us to the edge over there. We're going to mirror the shape that's below us, and nothing more. We're not going to attempt to line it up perfectly or anything. We're just going to mirror it. Also, since this is going to be the very top level, I'm going to put a torch in the very center, so I don't need to worry about anything funky happening. So... Now, I know it's not exactly a perfect bit of spawnable space, but this is the standard that you're going to find in most mob farm designs. Is 3 blocks, okay. So you're easily going to be able to get pretty good rates from a farm like this. If you replicate this farm, and including the signs and all that stuff to move them off there, hey, I appreciate it. If you want to give me credit for the tweaks I made to it, okay. If not, that's okay. This is a farm that has been used by plenty of others. It is not original. I did not come up with this. It is my spin on a standard mob farm. Nothing more. So, these next little bits should be fairly straightforward. Just 1, 2, 3. Let's do that. And then we go like so. Oops. Something feels off. I can always fix it when I bring the walls up, because of course I'm going to have to build the walls from the top up. Oh, I meant... This is me when I'm tired. This is me doing stuff when I'm tired. Yeah. Okay. This is me doing things when I'm tired. And for some reason, I forgot how to count. Because I was expecting something else. Oh well, it's fixable. Phantom memories must have despawned. That's okay. I wonder where those bricks fell to. Yeah. I know they're just stone bricks, but I'm just trying to make sure I don't leave things lying around. There we go. Make a mess. See, we now have everything kind of lining up quite nicely. Need to make sure those torches are all in there. So each level has a torch, so it's all, pardon me, it's all going to be nice and lit up until I turn on. Oops. And they all break. Yeah. In terms of rates from this farm, I'll get what I get. It's honestly me being the most mature I can about this, is I don't anticipate this being some super duper farm. Does end up being pretty good. Okay, then ends up being pretty good. I know because it will be mob based, it'll only function while I'm in the area. So it's unlike some of my other farms, which will function because these are the spawn chunks. And I can go explore and do other things, and they'll still be functional, like the wool farm and the iron farm. But, hey, small things to worry about. Three, there we go. Now we have the top here. I can go through and add detail later, but for the most part, this is going to be where the redstone section will be. So the redstone is going to be basically where this torch is. So we're going to go out to about here in each direction. And we're basically just going to add in some extra torches because now I get to place all the redstone. So for those of you that have worked with redstone before, you know that sometimes observers can be rather annoying. Deep breaths. So let's put those there. I don't need the signs for the moment. Got observers, I've got dispensers. The way I'm going to have this triggered is that an observer will power a dispenser, which will drop the water block on top of the face of the observer, and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to I will words. I'm going to load them up as I go along, but I'm not going to, hopefully, not going to accidentally trigger them. So, but if you've worked with redstone before, let's say that you're trying to place your, place your observer. The activated point where it's going to send the signal is going to be facing that way. The same direction that you're facing will be also the dispenser. So that means the dispenser is going to have to go immediately below me. So I'm going to have to drill my way down, placing these along as I go. Oh. Yeah, that will be kind of tricky. So, and then I'm just going to have it be activated by a single bit of redstone dust. Actually, since it's dark and I'm going to be doing this bit, let's skip this night so I don't have to worry about phantoms. So a single bit of redstone dust. So the observer is going to detect it, and there's going to be the flare where it activates them all and sends the pulse down. Then the observer is going to activate again, and the system's going to activate again based off the hopper clock. I think I'll set it to about 40 seconds. Important number there, 40 seconds. Because with an Etho hopper clock, you can do a lot. You really can. But you also need to remember that it will detect when the redstone turns on and when it turns off. So that means technically the timer needs to be an 80-second timer, and it'll just trigger twice. So part of the reason why I put those torches here is so I would have easy access to this. Okay. Let's go ahead and dig our way down to here. Now I can crouch, and there's my observer. I have this block here. I dig down one. Dispenser. And I load it. Okay, it will pick up the bucket and take care of it for me. Okay, go down. Dispenser. One more. Or observer, then dispenser. Rinse and repeat. So we've got 10 levels to secure here. Let's go ahead and do all 10. And I have to make sure that I load them as I go. Don't want to leave any floors unloaded. So I have 6. I have 12 buckets, so I grabbed some extra buckets on accident. Oh well. Four. Okay. So far, we're going quite well. I have a text message. Got one more level after this. And it will pick the bucket back up when it picks up the water. Important reason why I left the dirt block there. You can actually kill yourself if you go through this step too fast. See? I'm actually trapped. So I'm going to have to be very careful how I get out of this one, which is actually going to involve me breaking this. Crouching. And it's going to want to face that way. Which means I'm going to have to do something I didn't want to do, which is break this block. Remember that there's all that down there, but I've got a bunch of stone bricks, so I can go over this way. Put that there. Load it. Put those back. Now the whole thing is primed. I don't need to worry about trying to protect and save this anymore, so that can all fall down there. I can go back later and I'll grab it. Okay? So now when I turn this on, it's just going to take a single little pulse of the redstone dust to do this. Now, problem. I've already placed all of these and lined them up. So that means that whatever system I set up will activate the very first time I put redstone dust on top of the observer, because it will pick up me doing that. So that will be how I enable the whole system and get the ball rolling. Okay? Oh, now on to the reason why I brought the buckets with me. I need to relocate the scaffolding. That's a fairly... Why did I put that away? That's a fairly straightforward thing to do, because I have to relocate it outside of the bottom of the pit here. Though I will need to do a little bit with it. So let's just make our way up here to the very top. Where I apparently went way too high. And we're going to break this slowly, filling in as we go. And we're just simply going to push this to the outside of the wall. But we're going to leave this one here on the inside for us to get in and out with. So. Should be good. Oops, looks like that was not washed away. So now that we've got that here, let's start placing our water. Water buckets are going to be the most tricky step here, because we need to make sure that we have everything along the edges here, but it does not become infinite water sources in every direction. That's why I have spaces like this. You place these blocks right here, they won't be able to fully interact with each other except in this spot. So if you put one here and one here, it'll spread it out. And then you can have another block here, and they won't be able to interact. But I also did these indentations like this, so you can easily create infinite water source buckets, like so. See how it overlaps like so, or like that? You can also do this, and this, and that will create enough of a flow to keep things under control as well. Now the scaffolding will create a void. That's okay, you can break it later. Let's go over here, because this is now going to be creating a spot where mobs will try to go in and get themselves stuck. You see how we have this overlap of the water with the signs? That will push every mob directly into the center to fall down onto the signs. It will solve the problem that would be presented if we were to have issues with spiders. We'll do that. Last two. And now this is primed. It will push everything into the very center here. So I don't want to break that because it's my way out right now, but make our way over to it. And now break it. And those will get zipped right down into the center. Unlike a design that uses lava, this won't destroy anything that goes through it. Okay? All the water is pushing into the same areas except for these two spots right here. Okay? You can solve that problem by adding in water blocks above these areas to create kind of a layered effect, and it'll keep things from being able to climb and get their way out. So, one block above, do that, and that. That will push them away from the edges here. This is our final step in this part. Because as you can see, each of these areas has the ability to have that extra bit of water added in. So, this is probably going to be the trickiest one to prep for it, but I think I can reach them. Yeah, that's not going to be an issue. There we go. Now everything that falls in here will get pushed into the very center to the kill chamber. There we go. Nothing will be able to get pushed into these corners. They'll always get pushed towards the center where the current will take it down to where they'll be burned. So now you're probably asking yourself, how are we going to control this with the clock? All that stuff. Well, I'm not going to turn this on until I've got the walls in place. So that's an important distinction to make, is that I'm going to make sure the walls are in place before I go to the next step of this. Of course, it's raining. So to do that, I'm going to go grab some of my decorative blocks that I have over here, such as the cracked stone and the mossy stone bricks, and I will be using those as I build up the walls. I'm not going to lie, this next part's probably going to be pretty boring. It's mostly going to be me placing blocks. So, but that said, hopefully this is something that people will find valuable as they learn how things will go up. Now the outside of this will get decorated. The mob farm is just going to be embedded in the very center. Okay? And I can expand, and I will be expanding on the storage system and the collection system later. But tonight I just want to get this built. So let's just go around here. This is backwards. Sorry, I have it in a specific way, so that way I know roughly what I'm clicking on. And that way I don't get surprised. Oh. It's just one of those things that, as a builder, you kind of pick up as, hey, this works better for me. Let's go over here to this side. And when small things like that, like I didn't mean to place two, happen, go with it. Sometimes the smallest things that add that extra little bit of, oh, that was kind of random, really look good. So, never be afraid to embrace the random. Even if the block you're using is a little more expensive than you would prefer. See, and this process is going to take a while. So that's why I kind of forewarned you. It's like, hey, this is going to be a little boring. So. Okay. Don't... If you're going to be doing something and you're going to do a larger project, own it a bit. Like, yeah, I know, I'm committing to this. Trust me, that follow-through is extremely important to not only your own personal confidence, but to understanding your own limits. So, trust me, a year ago I wouldn't even have attempted this. I would have been like, haha, no. Now, I'm basically doing a tutorial on it. And I don't do things in creative mode very often, so trust me, I did not create this in creative mode or anything like that. So the way I'm doing this is every so often I'm pressing the scroll wheel while I place the blocks. And I scroll up, down, one, left, right, one, something like that, in order to get the next block in the palette that I'm working with. I don't have enough stone brick. But that's okay. Again, that's okay. The inside is functional. The outside will take as long as it takes. Right now it is 8:18, so I do have a finite time limit for how much longer I can be online, because I would like to get to bed at a decent time, but that's beside the point. So, the redstone components for this are just a simple Etho Hopper clock. So you could watch any tutorial on the iconic Etho Hopper clock. I'm going to give credit where credit is due in that one, by the way. That's all that it is one of the single most iconic designs within Minecraft Redstone. So, oops, did I forget to grab cracked? Yep. There we go. But see, we've already got 3 levels in case for this. The 4th is right here at the same height we're standing at. It does go fast. Okay. So I think I'm going to reset my building, though, over here by the scaffolding, so I don't have any weirdness. First, I immediately proceed to put a block in the wrong spot, but all things. And you can do a lot by adding in layers of texture with things like the mossy cobble. If you have the cracked bricks going into a certain area, or if you have a smooth surface suddenly become cracked and then eventually get the mossy, you can actually make it look like water's pooled in one area and things have started to mold and mildew. It's a really great way to make a design look older. See, I did it again. Yeah, again, I did it. Same spot, too. Now, the outside of this tower I'll decorate it when I do the outside of the castle episode, which that will probably be after the move. I'm not gonna lie. That's a couple weeks down the line. So, but I'll probably do a larger, like a whole 4 or 6 hour long stream for that. So yeah, please look forward to that because I am myself. It is going to be a fun day. So, but I'll need to make sure that I get everything set up in the new place and have streaming put it together for everything. So if you intend to place a block in a certain place and sometimes it doesn't work and you end up skipping it and whatnot, that adds to the randomness. It does. It truly does. Oh, and if your goal is to create something that looks realistic and lifelike, having that layer of randomness is fairly useful. So I've got 5 levels above me from where I'm standing at level 5 right now. So that means I have to go get more, because I've got 1 stack of cracked brick and 1 stack of mossy brick, and only a handful of the regular brick. Oh, yeah, let's go raid our supplies of stone real fast. I have plenty of vines, so I can make the mossy really easily. I think I have plenty of the cracked, so I just have to grab from the chest. So I'll grab another stack of cracked when I come back through, and I'll make a stack of mossy. I think that should get me through to the rest of this, assuming I can grab all the stone that's up here currently and convert it into... Aha! It's one of the advantages of having this thing running constantly. It's pretty much constant supply. Stone. Okay. Now I'm going to grab I think I'll grab 2 stacks of vines that I have down here. I've been harvesting them from the jungle trees. That's why. So, go over here. They are right here. There we go. Plenty of mossy cobble. Or not mossy cobble. Mossy stone. Mossy cobble I could incorporate as kind of like to show things have broken up a bit more. I just wish it was a slightly more muted color. Cobblestone is so brightly colored. It's so white. So that's why I'm kind of hesitating to use it right now. Because it does stand out from the, frankly, rather firm gray of the rest of it. See, we've got the tower coming along. Yes, the outside is going to be ugly for the time being. This is more of a functional design than anything else at the moment. So I've got 2 stacks of the there. I didn't grab a stack of the crack. That's okay. I have more cracked. I have more cracked. That should be okay. you're creating something large, though, you got to remember that melding angles together is a fairly powerful tool. Oh, hello there, Ninja. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Let me reset my playback real fast. That's how I monitor chat, and there we go. Thank you. This is just a mob farm. This is a simple mob farm. I needed some regular mob drops, and I've got an automatic mob farm for it now. So if you want to see the nice build, that's over there with the with what's the eventual villager trading hall. So, how was your Tuesday gone day, dude? So, do you have a good Tuesday? Say that like it's, you know, your main thing, but yeah. So, Tuesdays. Day after Mondays, the most hated day in the world. Scientifically proven to be the most hated day. Oh, the whole thing is a castle. So this whole thing is going to be a castle. What I'm working on right now is just going to be one of the towers of the castle. So trust me, I've got plans. Talking about color palettes, I'm talking about lots and lots of building fun. So I do want to get this part done, so I'm trying to get it as much of it out as I can. Oh, I'll show you that in a moment. I just want to try to get this wall up to the ceiling there. Once I'm up there, I will consider this good, and I can give you a brief tour of what I've done so far. So, do you play Minecraft yourself, dude? This world's probably about 35 hours old. So, yeah. Apart from the time I've spent on stream, I probably have about 10, 11 hours off stream on it. Oh, what's your favorite thing about Minecraft? Here. And go. That's cool. Yeah, sure, I'll be here. Still probably have another 5 minutes or so of work on this tower, so I can give you a brief tour when you get back. We got so much to do here. That. Do this. Just getting a bit going here. That's cool. Yeah, survival has its perks. It does have its perks. So, but at the same time, it's kind of nice being able to show just everything you've accomplished when you work on something. I think that is my favorite part right now, is that you can build something that is truly unique just for yourself. And, oops, that could have been bad. And feel good about it. Oh. Hey, if you'll get there. So, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Oh. As long as you're putting some time in an effort to build a passion, that's what's important, really. There's no gatekeeping, especially in the video game world. That's cool. 1.18 does have a lot of cool things in it, so it's totally worth it. And that's cool, dude. So, honestly, if I had had Minecraft when I was 10 years old, I probably would be a professional Minecrafter already. I would be a hermit on Hermitcraft if I could. Oh. Oh crap. Ah, pardon my French. That hurt a lot. I don't have feather falling on my boots. Okay, I'm going to use this as an excuse to show you the trading hall, okay? So, this is my villager trading hall. So I know it's not much right now. It's just the walls, it's the floor, it's the upper level areas. I also came here to grab a few cracked brick. But yeah, this is where my villager trading is going to occur. I'm going to have general trading down there, and then up here is going to be specialized stuff. Like right here is where I'm going to have my librarians. Across the way over here, along this rickety bridge, is where I'm going to put clerics. This I want to be a really fun part of the base here. So, yeah. Yeah, 16 pieces of stone. I usually try to go for a good stack or so, because I want to burn down the pickaxe as quickly as I can. Thanks, dude. Oh, this is just a start of the castle. So this is one of the first things I built. I also built a little tree starting base and a little exposed base over here. It's not much, but got bookshelves for level 30 enchants. I've got my little tree starter base over here. It's mostly just storage. And then, of course, in the back you can see my tree farm and other stuff and whatnot. So this right now is going absolutely nuts, making me stoned, though it's going to run out of cobblestone soon. That's okay. And yeah, I want to get this wall done. So time to get back to work on the wall. Ooh. Time to get back to work on the wall for the tower here. Yeah. And then this mob farm, once I turn it on, I will never have to turn it off. It'll just constantly be going while I'm in the area. It'll produce a lot of resources for me. Alright, this time let's not fall, because I think the next time I fall is probably going to be too much. Alright. Let's do that. Here we go. So, only have 2 more levels after this one, so we're making progress. We are making really good progress. Yeah, I think when you get to 1.18 or even just 1.17, the ability to fortune iron is a huge game changer. It truly is. For, I mean, you can already fortune coal, but fortuning gold, iron, it does really completely change the way the game feels. I'm not gonna lie. So, and that's if you can make that and get to it and enjoy yourself with it, that's perfect, dude. Here. Kind of concentrating because I know now that if I were to fall, the fall would be fatal. So I don't want to fall and lose my 24 very, very hard earned levels right now. Darn it. Oh, well, down in the collection system it goes. So, if I were to fall in there, it wouldn't be too big of an issue. I could get out, but if I fell down the outside, that would be unfortunate. Let's go here. So how long have you been playing Minecraft, dude? Do here. Oh yeah, we're almost there. Oh, darn it. Did it again. Sorry. No, you don't need to apologize, dude. So, I'm not going anywhere until I finish this, and I think after I go up these next little bit here, I'm going to get this done here. So, I already gave you a bit of a tour. I must apologize. It is rapidly approaching 9 p.m. my time, and I normally stop streaming about 8 o'clock, 8:30 ish. So once I get this wall done, I'm probably going to start winding things down. So, I unfortunately do have to have a day job. But, you know, it is what it is. Here. Sorry. You can look at my YouTube channel. I have all my past streams available for people to watch. So I don't lock anything. You're welcome to look at stuff. So you can go through, you can watch me build that. I built that on stream. So if you find that interesting or you find that you want to do that, go ahead. That being built on stream was kind of fun for me. So okay, I need to be careful this next level. Easily bump myself off. Okay, see, that's what I need to be careful of, because... See, now I'm at the mercy of the wall up here, so I have to be careful. But it does add another layer of things you can do to play with this. Oh, really? I'm afraid I started playing Minecraft in 1.16, so I've not experienced 1.15's combat system. So, there. Let's do that. Here. Just need to be a little bit more careful about this. Yeah. Almost done. Just a little bit more. Alrighty. Oh. Have you given any of the newer versions a try, or just played with 1.15? So, the combat may be a little different, but there's a lot more to do. Like, the Nether is an entirely different experience. So, okay, here we go, and done. Okay. Okay. I will work on the outside of this thing later, because I know right now it is ugly. But, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Let's make our way up here. Yeah. This is a basic tower. I will add more to it over time, and I will make it look prettier. But right now, for just being a basic tower that is going to house my mob farm, I'm happy with it. That's good. So, unfortunately, it's time for me to start winding this down. So, I'm sorry, dude. I unfortunately do have to go to bed. So, I'm gonna end the stream here in a bit, or in a moment. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let's go down to the collection system really fast. This is the collection system that will have everything in here, and I won't be able to open this chest because all the hoppers go into this spot right here. But there will be more hoppers going into a much larger collection system down here, and right now this is one of the safest places. So with that, thank you for tuning in, dude. I will finish this mob farm next time, and I will be working on a villager breeder. I probably am going to be streaming most likely Saturday evening. Just a heads up on that one. Okay? So, thank you for tuning in, dude. It's much appreciated. But for everyone who tunes in, this has been Wolf. Have a good night.